Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Trent Bridge Live on a glorious day here at Trent Bridge. And today is day 2 in this County Championship Division 1 clash between Nottinghamshire and Warwickshire. And it's a day where Nottinghamshire, well, they're going to bat today. That's because they managed to bowl Warwickshire out yesterday for 258 runs. A real great performance from the bowlers yesterday of Nottinghamshire. So let's remind you of all the wickets that were taken and the runs that were scored. And that's through the day 1 highlights.
Here's Hutton. In once more, LBW shout early on. Michael Gough raises the finger, and Hutton now is Nottinghamshire's leading wicket taker this season. That's his 32nd scalp, and Alex Davis has gone.
Bass once more. Yates trying to drive, gets a thick edge, and that's going to race down to third for 4.
Now as well, that wasn't necessarily uppermost in the minds as this one's worked away through the leg side for 4 by Will Young.
Closing in as Pennington runs in, and that is driven handsomely, beats the fielder at cover, and that is another boundary coming for Yates this time. A really lovely drive.
Imagine he's written it himself, but there's nothing wrong with that as Pennington bowls. A thickish outside edge goes for 4, down to third, down to the boards in front of the last ball of the over. Pennington bowls. A bit cramped for room, but Yates has got this one away with immaculate timing. Square of the wicket on the offside.
James wide of the crease, angles that in, and that is beautifully driven. First ball of the over from Pennington has just turned around the corner, and there's a little misfield out there from Mohammed Abbas.
Rather more inexperienced than he might have anticipated. As a swing, and he's going to be caught at slip and not eke even closer. That's well held by Patterson White. Low down.
Pennington past the umpire, bowls, and that is very, very well played.
At the moment.
Pennington into bowl to Hayne. Very full, driven, gets past the bowler, gets past the mid-off. Hutton flung himself at it, but he couldn't get there.
Young taps his bat and waits as in comes Hutton. Oh, he's got a big thick edge, and it's taken its second slip. All that hard, patient work, and Freddie McCann is in the wickets again in the catching department.
You wouldn't go away, okay, and you will be back. That's what you're telling your listeners.
I've got one for you before you go.
Edged, and that's through a vacant third slip area, and therefore onto my tippy toes again. I can see there's nobody down there, and that's going to be 4 runs. He's still not going to think highly of me. I just put it quickly on the old blade yesterday. He achieved many things, but he had a big grin on his face as he walked past after that a few moments ago, as he draws an edge here from Hayne as it carried, and that's a very good take by Verreynne.
Lyndon James in once more, and that's another edge, another one. 351 for Verreynne, and Lyndon James gets his first, and knots have gone bang bang. Pennington again running in with lots of effort and energy, and dancing down the track is Mosley. He's lifted it over Hamid and run away for 4.
Barnard on 20. Driven, very nicely driven. That's a glorious shot for 4 from Barnard.
This is what you said it.
Mosley on strike down the track, and he does drive this with ferocity. Runs in, Mosley tapping impatiently. Next ball's laced away through the covers. Well, we've seen him play that cover drive so beautifully.
The day's championship cricket. Stand of 82 between these two. Mosley on 49, facing James, looking to clip him square. He'll get certainly 1. He tries to split the 2 fielders, but it is just the 1. But Dan Mosley completes a very fine half-century. He did get a first-class 100 for England Lions this year, and one that wasn't first-class. As down the wicket he comes now and launches James straight, and that is a big 6 from Dan Mosley.
At night.
And Barnard has chipped it straight back to Liam Patterson-White, who's Barnard's standing there. The umpires are going to have to get together here. I think Ed Barnard might be just wondering if it was a bump ball. Patterson-White took the return catch.
In his over, bowls to Mosley, who drives straight. My goodness, that's a lovely shot. Just to the offside of the bowler. That's 4 runs.
250 for 6. Find most things on the Batman board. Here's Mo Abbas in bowls, strikes him on the pad, asking Saggers, and he's gone. Second ball with the new ball. Michael Booth, LBW to Mo Abbas for 1. Here comes Abbas then. And bowls to bowled him! straight through Bamber's defences, and Mo Abbas 2 in 2, and Warwickshire 250 for 8.
Those foreshadows of each player are becoming much clearer as Abbas is in, bowls, and that's clipped away nicely through mid-wicket. Thank you very much. 4 runs.
3 slips, hands on their knees at the moment as Taz Ali is knocked over. He's bowled, he loses off stump, and Brett Hutton has his 3rd wicket. And Warwickshire's 9th goes down. It's 257 for 9, and with it, another point for Nottinghamshire. So they're only 2 away from the title.
Adjudicating that he was out as Hutton bowls, and again a big blow, this time down the ground to long on, and the Bears are all out, and Brett Hutton gets another one. He finishes with 4, and Warwickshire in the last over of the day are 258 all out. Dylan Pennington catching Dan Mosley, who's out for 74.
So as you saw there through the day 1 highlights, 10 wickets taken by Nottinghamshire yesterday. Hasib Hamid won the toss yesterday. He elected to have a bowl, and obviously he will be delighted that his bowlers took 10 wickets yesterday. So let's just take a look at how sort of the stats look regarding the bowlers, and you'll see that Brett Hutton leads the way, 35 wickets so far this season for Brett Hutton. Mohammed Abbas, 29 wickets, and just remember that Mohammed Abbas didn't actually start the season with Nottinghamshire. It was Fergus O'Neill that played the first 4 games, and obviously Abbas has missed a couple of games as well, so fantastic for him to get 29 wickets. He was on top form yesterday. And then Liam Patterson-White, the 3rd highest wicket taker for Nottinghamshire this season with 26 wickets. And just to mention for Dylan Pennington and Lyndon James, they're just 1 wicket behind Liam on 25. So it kind of shows you that the bowlers have been on top form this season so far. 42 bonus points available this season regarding the bowling, and they've took 34, so that really does show you how well the bowlers have been doing for Nottinghamshire, and that's potentially why we currently sit top of the division. But it's all about kind of batting today, and we'll talk about that very, very shortly. But let's hear the thoughts of the leading wicket taker for Nottinghamshire after day 1, and that was Brett Hutton.
Brett, well bowled. What's your overall reflection on where we stand after day 1 of the season closer?
Yeah, pretty happy I think as a team. You know, obviously when you choose to have a bowl, you're sort of hoping to not be bowling again into day 2. So I think that's sort of job 1 ticked off, that we've bowled them out for what we feel is probably a reasonable score.
Yeah, if you take us back to the toss, what was the thoughts and thinking behind the decision to bowl first? And do you know if Haas would he have always bowled first, or was it a decision made upon seeing the pitch?
I think we were probably going to bowl first. It's just the September later on in the year. There's always a bit more moisture around first thing, bit of cloud cover and things like that. I think we're expecting the pitch to get better as it goes on probably. You always get best use out of it first up normally, so I think he's just sort of gone through that approach.
Sure. If we look at the pitch and how it's behaved today as well, how do you think it's been, and has there been something always in it? If there was a good ball, do you feel like there was always a chance of getting a wicket?
Yeah, I mean it was a decent pitch. I think it's quite slow, but we bowled really well as a team. Mo especially gave nothing away, so you always feel in the game when the scoreboard doesn't go anywhere. So even when you look at it and think, oh, we've bowled 50 overs, when they're only on 110 or whatever, you feel like you're so close to something happening anyway. So I think it was more a case of that as a unit we controlled the rate as well as we could, and we just kept going at them, and it showed that we got it to that point there where Mo took 2 in 2 balls and the game just flipped on its head.
Yeah, is that crucial, especially to bowl in partnerships with Mo from the opposite end, yourself from this end? Is that really a key part of the game? Yeah, I mean, that's cricket in a nutshell, really, isn't it? Batters batting partnerships, bowlers bowling partnerships. It's always, it's just the way it is. It's really hard to bowl well if the guy at the other end's going for runs. So, and it's a collective thing of bowling in partnerships. You need your fielders to back you up and things as well.
So they were the thoughts of Brett Hutton at the end of day one. Now, if you've been watching from the start, or if you've been watching Trent Bridge Live for a few years, you might be thinking, well, you look a little bit different today, Aaron. And that's true. I have shaved my head this morning, so I do look very different. But no, in all honesty, this isn't my jacket. I would like to say thank you to the one and only Dave Bracegirdle for giving me this jacket this morning to wear. We tried to get him on the stream. He said, no, thank you. I don't want to come on Trent Bridge Live. But if you would like to see Dave Bracegirdle on Trent Bridge Live tomorrow morning, tweet him today at Brace Cricket on X. Send him loads of messages. Say that you want him to see it on Trent Bridge Live tomorrow morning on the pre-show, and we will get him on wearing this jacket. But yes, this isn't my jacket. It's Dave Bracegirdle's. But hey, I think I look quite good. Anyway, the bell's rang. You've had enough of me talking. It's time to hear from Dave Bracegirdle and his commentary team for this game against Warwickshire. Hasiba Mead, Ben Slater will be out there in the middle very, very shortly. So let's say a very good morning to Dave Bracegirdle.
With 74, there were 48s from Will Young and from Ed Barnard. Brett Hutton with 4 for 46, the leading wicket taker for Nottinghamshire, 3 wickets to Mo Abbas. So very good morning, welcome to the BBC commentary of this match. I'm Dave Bracegirdle from BBC Radio Nottingham. Kevin Howells is here overseeing it all. We'll get a little word with Kevin later on. Melinda Farrell from BBC Sport is here, and to my right, already sat and hoping his beloved Bears can have a good day with the ball. Very good morning to Richard Wilford.
Good morning to you, Dave. Yeah, it's a glorious morning, isn't it? This is what you want from the very end of a cricketing summer is the sunshine. You can see 1 or 2 trails from aeroplanes from East Midlands Airport. I can see no fewer than 3 in the sky at the moment. In fact, there's a 4th over there. They're all over the place. So it is glorious. It's an interesting surface. So whilst in terms of the atmospheric conditions, it's a day for batting, it will be very, very interesting to see how this used pitch behaves today. Certainly Warwickshire, I think we're a little bit surprised by how sporting a wicket it was yesterday. A little bit soft in places, slightly inconsistent in terms of pace as well, so a 2-pace pitch. Those were the views from the Bears camp yesterday. So they're going to have to bowl well to defend 258. Alex Davis was saying he feels not certainly ahead in the game, but we'll see what their array of pace bowlers can do.
And of course there are 2 things at stake here. There is a game of cricket between 2 strong First Division sides who have over the years slugged out some really good contests. The Bears have got a great record on this ground here in this fixture. They've won 3 and drawn 2 of their last 5 meetings. Notts haven't beaten Warwickshire here since 2015, and they've had some pummelings as well in the white ball form. So Notts will be eager to get one over the Bears. The Bears 4th at the start of this round of matches. There's substantial prize money for finishing 3rd, so they'll be eager to round their season off with a victory, just if they can get above Somerset and get that 3rd place prize money. So lots to play for Warwickshire, but also for Nottinghamshire. Well, a lot of home supporters still shaking their heads in disbelief after that win at the Oval last week. Notts have been second for a while. They got themselves ahead going into the last round of matches at the top of the Division 1 table. And the situation really is that if Notts get to 300 inside 110 overs, barring something ludicrous like loss of points for overrate or deductions for pitches or whatever, but in what we can see in front of us, if they can get to 300, get those 2 batting points, they will be county champions for the 7th time in their history, their 3rd time this century, and their 1st time since 2010, 15 years ago. And much of the foundation of their success this year has been built around the opening partnership of Hasiba Mead and Ben Slater. They're just on their way out to the middle now. Hamid, 1,131 runs this season. Ben Slater, he's 37 shy of 1,000, so that will be very much in his thoughts, I would imagine. Ethan Bamber's going to get us underway, and as Richard said, it's a lovely, lovely morning with clear blue sky, as opposed to when we finished last night when it was grey and gloomy. We just about got the overs in, but it was so grey and gloomy, Richard couldn't even find his way out of the ground.
Well, no, I could find lots of ways out of the ground. The only problem was they were all locked, which was suboptimal. I'm not going to lie to you, Dave. But yeah, Ethan Bamber will take the attack. The bottom line is, if Notts get to 300 today, they are county champions. if Surrey fail to take 9 Hampshire wickets in 110 overs. That will also help their cause. So it's worth keeping an eye on that. And in a moment, Dave will introduce a guest. Let's get through the first ball.
Well, if you do the first over, and then we'll...
We'll let our guest settle in. As Ethan Bamber, in the sunshine, with a shadow in front of him, comes into bowl to Hasib Hamid, the first ball of the day, which Hamid guides down to point. It's picked up there and there's no run. 3 slips in place. Despite the sunshine, it is cool enough for sweaters to be on at the start of the day. Whether they remain in position, it will be interesting to see. And it's going to be not as helpful as you'd have thought in the air, but let's see how the surface plays today.
I'm sure that's what they're hoping it's a flat one.
Bambu's had a very good first season with the Bears. Drops this one back of a length and it's left alone outside off stump by Hamid.
I'm conscious that our guest is on an unlimited sort of little pass out from the dressing room, because if a wicket or two go, he might be whisked away. So should say very good morning and great to see you to Carl Verreynne, who's popped up to say hello. He's promised for a week or two, and it's always difficult batting at number 6. So if a wicket or two goes down, fully understand you've got to dash away, but we'll try and have a little bit of a chat at the end of the next couple of overs.
Does this thing work?
It does indeed. You're
good
on.
Morning. Good morning. Well, hopefully I can be here for the whole session. That'll be a good start to our morning, I think.
Bamber pushes one down the leg side, taken down the leg side by Alex Davis. You would have been one on this side of the commentary box. I want to see wickets fall. So that's the challenge. That's the challenge.
Are you a Warwickshire man?
So I'm the Warwickshire side of the equation, and Dave obviously the
I'll
not.
just shift closer to this side. Then.
I'm a neutral.
Yeah.
South African supporter. That's what we need.
Bamber charges in once more to Hamid. He just advances down the wicket a little bit, but it flashes past the edge of his bat, quite high up. And he practices the shot that he would have liked to have played, but that's a good delivery from Bamber.
I'm well aware that you have actually met Mel Farrell, because one night at Durham she snared you and got you on a seat on the boundary edge and talked to you for hours on end about the World Test Championship.
She did indeed. In the freezing cold, I might add. No. Yeah, that was actually probably a turning point of our season here at Notts, funny enough. If you think back to that
only
time,
defeat, yeah.
Exactly.
Bamber approaches once more, defended by Hamid, back down the wicket and picked up by the bowler in his follow-through.
Why do you say that?
Obviously missed the first game, yeah. But I think sort of that first period that we played leading into the Durham game, I think we were playing really well. Got a few results going our way. And I think up until that game we would have been top of the table, and there was a real belief that, this is going to be our year. And then you play that sort of whole game and you feel like probably going to be a draw. We sort of okay with that.
Bamber in once more, and that wraps him high on the pad, Hamid. It looked like it cut in a little bit, well above stump height, despite the appeal for LBW. Sounds like you're making a case for the fact the story is the comeback is better than the setback.
All the time. No, so I think that, and then, everyone that watched that game would know we sort of, that last session we sort of just let things slip.
Well, at tea I was working out when you could shake hands, and somebody got out first ball after tea.
Well, I'll let you into some insight there. I think I might have been on about 38 or 39 or whatever. Clarkey would have been on 80 odd at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And I personally was thinking, all right, I'll get 50, let JC get to his 100, shake hands, get back on the coach and head home. And that's a lesson to just never take it for granted. And lost that game. Nice little regroup in the change room, just sort of understanding where we went wrong, and since then, haven't really looked back this season, have we? So sometimes you need those little reminders when things are going well, and came at a good time for us, I think.
Nathan Gilchrist bowled the second over of the morning from the Radcliffe Road end. We're delighted to have Carl Verreynne with us, the Nottinghamshire wicket-keeper, as the first ball wide of the off-stump goes through to the keeper. He's clearly not superstitious, because he's bagged number 13, Nathan Gilchrist. Now, lots have happened. I've spoken to you here, there and everywhere, but I've not really had a chance just to quiz you on one or two things, and again, appreciate you might not be here for too long. World Test Championship, you scored the winning runs. What did that mean to you and to your country and your side?
A lot. It meant a lot. Let's just hopefully watch Slats get us going.
Yes, this is the trouble. As Gilchrist bowls to Slater, pushes it into the offside.
No, it meant a lot for me personally. I think the way sort of my career's gone, it is a nice reward for me, I think, to be out there to hit the winning runs. But I think the game as a whole and firstly getting to the final where no one gave us a chance, and then actually winning it, I think was incredible. I think it's done a lot for South African cricket, definitely, but I think it's also done quite a bit for world cricket, which is really cool.
Very much so. Gilchrist past umpire Michael Gough, big tall fella as we know, and this one wide of the pegs goes through to Alex Davis.
Yeah, like I said, honestly, it's something that really means a lot to us as a country, and I think, like I just mentioned, that it has done and is still playing a big part in how I think cricket in South Africa is growing, and it's, yeah, it feels like this last sort of 3 months since that victory, things are just changing so quickly and for the better, which is really exciting.
Lots yet to get a run on the board as Gilchrist from our end bowls, beat Slater on the outside. This goes through again to Davis, lovely line. And the celebrations went on long and hard. Where's Kyle? Oh, he's away celebrating. Where's Kyle? Well, he's got to go back to South Africa to celebrate a bit more.
No, they did. I think, unfortunately, missed a few games here for not in the process of that, but well worth it. Like I said, I think the work that we put in to get to that point, we had to celebrate. Unfortunately, the boys did fantastically well whilst I was away, which is great.
Gilchrist to the left-handed Slater, leaves it alone. Now, something else I just quickly want a view on. Why you were away, you played a two-match test series in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
You were in the dressing room.
I know what
Verreynne
question's
Mulder,
coming.
300, was it 367 or something like that? Not out. Declared with Laura's record in sight. Were you all cheering him on? Or go on then, tell us.
I'll start off by saying I was batting with him, and I was on 44, 42. And I just wanted to get to 50, so I was fuming, to be honest.
Gilchrist bowls and strikes Slater on the pad, asking umpire Gough. Richard to my right, I think, says it was going over, and it's the end of the over, 0 for 0.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, Verreynne stuff aside, I was a little bit upset because I really just wanted to get another Test 50 under the belt, good wicket. But no, it's an interesting one. You know, I respect Verreynne for his decision. I think ultimately it was with conversations with the coach, it was his decision to not carry on, and I respect that. I think his reasons are well valid. He's a fantastic man, fantastic team man, and for him, I think probably the right decision was made. Had it been me, however, and I was captain, I'd still be batting, I think.
There's Ethan Bamber coming in from in front of the building work in the pavilion, and he bowls on off stump, defended out into the offside by Hasib Hamid. Yeah, I mean, it was a classy gesture, wasn't it? That's what I'd say it was.
It was. I think, you know, we talk about South Africans being, I mean, at least back home, we feel like we're quite modest people. You know, you always think about the Australias, Indias of the world. They sort of in your face about how good they are. And I think South Africa, for large parts, to sort of just stand back.
Bamber approaches once more, guided down behind point. They think about a single. It's not quite on. Fielded by...
yeah, sorry to interrupt you there. And I think that sort of just... it shows maybe what type of people South Africans are, particularly South African sportsmen. Very competitive, very hard on the field, but very, I don't know, down-to-earth people. And I think what Verreynne did there probably suggests that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but...
It does. For Warwickshire fans, that will make a lot of sense as Bamber comes in, left alone outside of stump by Hasib Hamid. If you think of the likes of Alan Donald, Brian McMillan, Sean Pollock, who've represented the Bears over the years, and they very much fit that sort of description. For all that Alan Donald was the most fearsome bowler in the world for several years, just a nice, modest man, you know, very laid-back guy.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I think I've thought about it a lot, and... I think, like I said, probably the right decision was made. Fits perfectly into what our team believes in and why we've had success. So,
as Bamber's next delivery, pushing forward defensively, is Hasib Hamid.
And it would also very much please the Warwickshire fans that one of their own, Brian Lara, still holds the world Test record, of course.
Exactly. I think he actually got in touch with Verreynne straight away after, probably, I think maybe 10 minutes after that day's play had finished. Brian Lara got in touch with Verreynne and they had a conversation, which I think is also really cool.
Classy,
so
isn't it? Classy.
Very, very cool. Yeah. And that's why I say I think for Verreynne and the whole situation, probably the right decision was made.
Records are there to be broken. That one might stand for a long time yet, as this is left alone, based on height as much as anything. Seems to be a little bit more bounce and carry this morning, but we'll come back to that. World Test champion in 2 points' time, you're going to be a county champion as well. Touch wood. But things would have to go extraordinarily awry. Common denominator, Carl Verreynne.
Yeah. You know what? I speak a lot of nonsense in the dressing room, and believe me, I've mentioned that a lot. The boys know that that's exactly how I feel.
Verreynne clip round his pads for the first run of the innings. Hamid down to long leg, gets knots off the mark. One without loss after 3 overs.
You could be out there on 299 for 4 and here we go again.
Listen, I'll let you into exactly what the conversations that happened last night. We walked off the field. Obviously, you look at the Surrey score as we do. We sort of worked out, I think we need 300.
Yeah.
If we get to 300 today, we'll get the job done. And we're walking. There's a pub on the ground called the Larwood. A few of us were walking there to just have a
refresh,
have a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
And on the walk, I did say to everyone that was walking with me, they'll be able to attest it. I said, I do hope that everyone knows if we are 290 for 3, someone needs to get out. I want to get out there to make sure I'm there when we get to 300. So you're spot on. If I don't have to be there, it'll be fantastic. But I wouldn't mind being 299 and I'll walk out to bat and hit the runs to get us over the line.
It's going to be Gilchrist to bowl to the Notts captain, Asiba Mead. First time they've changed ends. He's down to the he's at the Pavilion end, the Stuart Broad end, but Gilchrist on loan from Kent bowls, and this is eased into the offside, and there's no run. Yesterday there was a moment where Brett Hutton on 349 first-class wickets was bowling, and you were behind the stumps with 349 first-class dismissals, and Richard said, do you think either of them would be aware of that? And I said, well, Brett might, but I'm not so sure about Kyle. It's just a thing. Brett this morning said he didn't know either. There's Gilchrist, and beats Hamid on the outside. That's just another one. 400 or 500, you would be aware, presumably. But
I think so. You know what? When it comes to batting, I can tell you exactly how many runs I've scored, strike rate, average, all those finer details. Keeping, obviously, it's something that I'm really proud of, and very happy to have gotten 350 dismissals. Yeah. But I had no idea. I thought I was, to be honest with you, I thought I was on 400 and something already. I had no idea. So it took me by surprise.
Arguing with the statisticians. Push back to the bowler. Got to talk quickly whilst you're here with us. Very much enjoying your company. Last week, the intensity of that game last week, from being out in the middle, right in the thick of it, one of the most intense, certainly county games you'll have played in.
Easily, without a shadow of a doubt, the most exciting, most nerve-wracking, most intense non-international game that I've been part of by a long way.
Gilchrist to bowl to the Notts captain, who's on 1. This is just deflected down the leg side. I don't think you're going to bat on that, Kyle. Leg buys, but Notts will take them. 5 without loss, 4 leg buys, very fine down the leg side.
I said to a few of the boys, obviously, similar sort of having won the Test Championship and the position we're in this season. Had a couple of conversations after the Surrey game, and I said, to be completely honest with you, for the whole game that felt like I was playing a test match, which is testament to the standard of county cricket, testament to the standard of the Surrey team, and just how exciting this season has been. It honestly felt like I was playing a test match last week. Really nerve-wracking, and honestly just one of the more exciting games that I probably will be a part of in my whole career.
They kept coming, didn't they? They've got 8 England test players, for goodness sake. Next ball on its way now, and it's dropped on the leg side. They'll scamper a quick single safely home. Hamid doubles his tally to 2. Notts 6 without loss. Got Carl Verreynne with us. Best stumping I've ever seen in my life, just because of the time it happened. Tom Curran stumped by your good self.
We talk about those things a lot of the time. Sometimes it's not so much what you do, but when you do it. I think for me personally, having dropped a catch off Patel, I think it was, Tangi bowling, could have been a massive moment in the game. Fortunately, we got him out quickly after. He really felt a lot of pressure on me, and then to take a stumping like that in that moment was something I'm really proud of, and I think quite a big moment in the game.
There's Gilchrist in to Slater, beats him on the outside. I know Tom a little bit, about a few conversations. Was there a bit of chat out there?
Not really, to be honest with you. I think I'm quite a quiet guy out on the field. I don't say too
I would
much.
imagine from Tom, I would have thought he would have.
No,
Come on,
no,
boys,
not-
bring it on, bring it on.
No,
because he was saying that to me at the end of each day
Oh,
when
was
he
he?
saw me. Oh, he was good fun. I met him a couple of times at. The
Not
close
too
of
much
play.
out there. I think it's one of those games. There was so much on it that I don't think there was any time for anyone to get any verbals in. To be honest with you, no, quite a well-spirited
An
game.
intense
I'd say.
game, yeah. Richard will talk through the next over, but I'm sure we'd both love to hear about Josh Tong's performance and how hard he was hitting the gloves.
Hard.
Ethan Bamber's going to try and hit the gloves hard here as he comes into bowl to Hamid, who has 2. Start of a new over, left alone outside off stump. I mean, he got some great rhythm on that final day, didn't he, Josh?
He was exceptional. I've been very blessed to keep to, in my opinion, the best bowler in the world, KG Rabada. I think he's, like I said, in my opinion, the best bowler in the world. Marco Jansen, Anrik Nortje, to name a few, exceptional bowlers, high pace. But this season, keeping to Josh Tong has been an incredible experience. Yeah, I just think he's getting better and better.
Bamber approaches once more and again left alone. Good stride in to make sure that he avoided that coming back towards his stumps, but safely through to the keeper.
I think just something with Josh. I think when you've got the pace that he does, you don't find it a lot, but I think sometimes you find guys with pace and they sort of struggle with control. They struggle to understand what they're doing. They struggle to get into a rhythm, and they struggle to know how they're going to take wickets. They just try and bowl quick. But I feel like I've sort of seen a progression in Tangi over the last season that I've been here, where everything just seems like it's clicked.
And once more, Hamid plays and misses, trying to play defensively outside off stump.
And he's got great reserves of energy because he bowled for an hour after lunch on that final day, and he was only out of the attack for about 15-20 minutes, and Haas asked him to go again.
Well, I mean, I think Haas did ask him, but I think before Haas asked him to go, I think Tangi was in the skipper's ear saying he wants the ball, which I think it shows so much about him. He's bowling, probably close to 90 miles an hour, high intensity, and he just wanted to keep going, which is equally as impressive.
Bamber strides in once more, defended by Hamid, that angled in towards off stump. Do you know, I think it's a question that you might get into trouble if you ask Dave, and I reckon I can get away with it because I don't think anybody can hold me to account. Okay, which is, so Carl, in the future, would you like to be out there wearing the Notts kit again?
Can't disclose anything yet, but I think my cubicle in the change room is here for another season, so I definitely like to be back, and I think by all accounts it looks like I will hopefully be back next season.
Well, that's great news.
I think a lot of people would be delighted if that comes to pass. Bamber in, that's a beautiful shot from him. He just leaning on it through a straight mid-wicket, and that's the first boundary off the bat this morning. Elegantly done by Hasib Hamid. He's up to 6-10 without loss.
Yeah, we talked the other day. I think, have you got to go to Pakistan for a tour and then you'll be playing for, who is it, the Pole Princesses or something?
Yeah, so we got 2 tests in Pakistan. We're leaving on the 6th of October, so that's quite a quick turnaround, and then test series in India, and then unfortunately South Africa have a full 12 months without a test match, so right. Yes, I agree with that. So it will be a month with
Try and defend your title.
Bamber back of the length, that's a good leave by Hasib Hamid.
You can't defend your World Test Championship if you don't play tests, can you?
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing is the way and I know we got a bit of stick about it, but I think the way the Test Championship is sort of structured, the fewer games you play, it's actually probably easier to defend your title. That's the sad thing about it, which I hope will change in the future.
So have you not got a home series in the South African summer?
We don't, which is
sad.
As long as I remember growing up, Boxing Day, New Year's, if we weren't in Australia playing there, we'd have a home series almost guaranteed. But it's not going to be the case this year.
When I asked you to come, you said, Dave, can I do a bit of commentary? Do you want to do this over from Nathan Gilchrist?
Let me see how I go. It's something that I want to get into when I'm done.
Oh, you're not going to be done for a long time yet. Gilchrist.
Well, top of the stumps, well left by Ben Slater. As mentioned this morning, a bit more bounce in the wicket. Seems to be playing quite nicely, and so far a lot of patience shown by the Nottinghamshire batters. Looks like a real grind this morning. Some good bowling on display. We'll see how the morning pans out.
I gulped hard, I think, 2 days ago when I saw a headline, Quinton de Kock decides he wants to play international cricket again. Did you gulp and think, well, he's not having my spot?
Gilchrist into Slater, and pretty much the same ball, defended to cover. I mean, the first thing I did, I think, was phone Mick and say, I think I'm available for a lot longer. No, you know what? I think international cricket, you want your strongest players to be playing. I think, don't want to say the way Quinny ended things, but I think there was a lot more going on behind the scenes potentially. I've known he's had a desire to come back and play for South Africa, and I think it's fantastic that he's going to be doing so. Gilchrist to Slater again, and that's 3 very good balls. Just beats the outside edge as it goes through to the keeper. Like I said, it looks like a little bit more in the wicket this morning.
What was said in the huddle this morning?
Something that we've been really focused on this season, and I think it ties into the success we've had. It's just about staying calm, staying present, try not to look too far ahead, and just win each battle that we're out there. Every session's a new session, and just try and focus on that as Gilchrist comes in again. And another ball, top of the stumps, defended by Slater. This is actually quite fun. I could get into this, hopefully they keep doing this, and I've got a few more sessions here today.
Gaz is first to get in touch. Not that you'd expect anything else from a cricketer. Carl Verreynne sounds such a lovely fella.
Well,
Thank
you know
Gaz.
what? He's a good judge of character. That's a good man, that.
Mark the Mod, absolutely great to hear Kyle this morning on commentary.
Good to hear. Well, like I said, hopefully we can keep going for another 3 hours, and I can spend the whole day with you. That'd be fantastic. And then 290, a quick flurry of wickets so I can get out there. Gilchrist around the wicket, and again top of the stumps. Some real good bowling this morning, I think, from Warwickshire. They're making it quite tough for the Notts lads. Yeah, just feels like it's going to be one of those grinding days today. Obviously a lot of, I wouldn't say pressure on us, but I think we'll understand the importance of today, so I think it's going to be one of those slow grinding days.
Grind was the word that Will Young used when he came in at lunch yesterday. He said lads, we've just got to grind.
Yeah.
It's not easy to score.
Another good ball, and that's a maiden from Gilchrist. It does. It felt like from being out there on this type of wicket, obviously doesn't feel like there's too much in the wicket for both ball and bat. Feels like you've just got to sort of grind it out. As a batter, you just got to knuckle down and sort of work hard for your runs. And I think from a bowling point of view, very much the same with the ball. Got to give a lot of credit to our bowlers last night. I think there was a period there where there wasn't a lot in the wicket, and it felt like we just sort of stuck at it and eventually got our rewards, which hopefully we can do the exact same with the bat today.
Dave, if you take this over, I'll bring Mel in here because I've got to do a report anyway in a minute.
So Mead on strike on 6 as Ethan Bamber bowls, pushed into the cover region, and there's no run. 10 without loss. More from Richard Wilford in the fullness of time.
Very disappointed that I haven't got a message from my mother as of yet. She normally watches this quite closely. She does.
Where are you, Mrs. V? Send him a message.
I know. Terrible on her phone she is.
10 without loss. Hope you don't mind sharing a commentary box with an Australian, Kyle, as this is pushed into the offside. Or yesterday, the best message I had yesterday, lovely to hear that New Zealand lady with you on commentary yesterday, which got Mel's back up.
That must be like a knife to the heart. I've seen you in South Africa more than I've seen you anywhere else, so I feel like you've got a bit of South African blood in you.
Well, it's been my new summer home. I've been there the last 3 summers. I did first. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love being there. I did first meet you in Australia, though.
That's correct. Very successful series for us, that was.
Ethan Bamber, we're into the 7th over. Slowish start for Notts as Hamid leaves this alone. 10 without loss. Mel Farrell's joined us on commentary.
Yeah, that was a tough series, but it doesn't matter because you won the one that mattered, right? Earlier this summer.
Exactly. I mean, that was a really tough series. I got dropped after that series, so I don't have too many fond memories of that period of time. But like you said, it's funny how the tables turn. Managed to get one over them this time around. So.
That was a tough series, though. Was it two-day test in Brisbane, the Gabba?
It was.
Clear blue sky here as Bamber bowls, and Notts captain again happy to let it go through to Alex Davis. 3 slips, fairly standard 6-3 offside field the Bears have set.
I do remember I think I might have got 60 on day one of that first test, and I walked into the commentary box, and I think someone asked me what I think of the wicket, and I said, I think it's only going to get better. It seems to be playing all right. And lunchtime on day 2, the game was done. So got that one horribly wrong.
You did so well to get those runs on that, though, because that was a wicked pitch.
It really was.
Hamid faces the next ball, pushes it crisply, but can't beat mid-off. No run, 10 without loss.
You know what, it felt like the final was going to be somewhat like that. I mean, you've got in my opinion, the 2 best seam bowling attacks in the world coming up against 2 batting units that probably aren't as settled as they would like to be. So, yeah, interesting. Well, I'm surprised. Surprised that the final went on as long as it did.
Last ball of the over. Bowls now, and this one just shapes away from Hamid. Lovely over that from Ethan Bamber. 4 overs. Couple of maidens now. None for 5 to Bamber. Not 10 without loss. Here on Trent Bridge Live, 5 Sports Extra, and on the BBC Sport website and app. Dave Bracegill with Melinda Farrell and Carl Verreynne, who's kindly popped up to say hello before he heads off. When do you go? Have you got a flight booked, I presume?
I've got a flight booked. Really sad about it. I am leaving on Sunday morning, which, touch wood, is going to be a really difficult flight. If things go according to plan. I think I've got a 10:30 flight, so...
Oh, wow. Okay, good luck. Take something. Here's Gilchrist. He's in around the wicket, and that's a good ball, angled in, straight and full. Gets past later.
Is that from London?
Flying from Birmingham, so luckily not too far to travel to get there.
I've at least given myself a few days before I take off.
I mean, got other commitments back home that I got to get back to, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, this is the world we live in. We're blessed to be travelling all around the world, so it's all part of the fun.
Here's Gilchrist again. Bowls to Slater, full, and it's similar to the last one, just whistles past the outside edge. Slater staying calm, just having a little scratch around. I was going to ask you, so obviously we do know that there is no Test cricket this summer, which is very difficult, and so that people understand, a big part of that reason is because the stadiums are all being renovated ahead of the next World Cup, which is going to be held in South Africa. So that's a big part of the reason why there's no Test cricket. As Gilchrist is in, and that time he has Slater jumping in the air as he tries to defend that one, but it gets past him again. Quite a few play and misses so far. But is that part of, I guess, why you're looking to play as much red ball cricket as possible? Is that part of the attraction of coming here and playing here?
It is, definitely. I mean, I'd like to think I'm still young and I've still got a few years of Test cricket in me, and my sort of stint last year, I played 3 games. I felt like that really allowed me to grow as a cricketer. As
Gilchrist bowls, this time he drags his length back a little bit and the ball kicks up off the deck, and Slater pulls his arms out of the way just in time. Yeah, so I think that sort of initial period, I learnt a lot about my game in that sort of short while, and then coming back here, sort of a little bit of focus on the Test Championship final, and then sort of seeing the season out with Notts. I feel like I've, again, learned so much about my game, and I feel like I'm growing, so it's definitely an attraction to try and get better personally, and hopefully that'll benefit my career going forward. Gilchrist bowls to Slater, and he keeps getting closer and closer. That has absolutely cut him in half, my goodness. Again, just angled in, but he's just got the line right, and he's got the length right. He's bowled really well this morning, I must say. But yeah, I think also, not to speak negatively of our cricket back home, but we only have 7 domestic red ball games. So it's nice for me to come out here. You get 14 games in a season. You get a good volume up. And yeah, like I said, it just allows you to grow your game so much. As Gilchrist runs in, bowls, and that time he's behind that one, defends it out to cover, and there is no run, but that was a searching, probing over from Gilchrist. He really did test out Slater's defences. It's 10 for none now, with Hamid on 6 and Slater on zip.
It's a lovely moment yesterday morning. Kyle, I know you engaged in it as well, where 3 of the young lads were awarded their county caps and they didn't know any of them. All their family and friends just suddenly appeared and the penny dropped. It was a nice moment.
It's special. That's another thing that I've enjoyed so much about playing cricket in this country. There's so many traditions, there's so many things that go on off the field that are really, really special. Yesterday being one of those moments.
It's Bamber from the pavilion end, and this one past the outside edge and through to the keeper.
And I think it feels like being a part of a club like this. I'd imagine it's very similar around the country, but there's a real family sense about it. The supporters, the members that we see every day when we come to training, come to the games in the morning that you speak to. There's a real care factor, not only about the players, but about how the club's doing, how everyone's doing. And then you get moments like we had yesterday morning, which is incredibly special.
Bamber, knees pumping, bowls to a mead shot, says Verreynne, and he's right. Way for a boundary through the offside. Nice bit of timing. He's perfectly capable of just staying out there all day, dotting it up. Slats at the other end. Will he be just starting to fret a little bit? Naught from 19 balls.
I think he might have been on 0 for about 30 balls in the game against Worcester a couple of weeks ago. Stuck out there and managed to get a valuable contribution. So I think he'll be okay. It's always nerve-wracking when you don't get off the mark early doors, but I think Slats has got age and experience on his side. He'll know how to cope with it, I think.
You got a ton in this match last year, didn't you? You were just arrived indeed. And got 100 against Warwickshire at the end of last season. Bamber in and bowls, and he pushes it to point. No run.
I did. I think that was an important game. Not similarly to this season, but I think we were fighting to stay up, weren't we? Yeah. Negative result in that game would have been detrimental. So, a bit of pressure on that game. If I remember correctly.
So you have had a bit of experience of the old Trent Bridge pavilion. It'll be very strange when you next go over there.
Sorry, that's my mum.
14 without loss. Hello, Mrs. F, as this is pushed into the offside, and there's no run. 40. Has she got a question for Kyle?
Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for.
What about your mum? My mum's she's ringing up to say, I'm watching you on the live stream, listening to you.
I've got a message from her mother. She says, I am listening to you. Very informative. And from Josh Tongue. Turn on the stream and hear your voice. Brilliant. Sense a lot of sarcasm in there, Tonguey.
Here's Bamber in and bowls, and down the leg side taken by Alex Davis. He's getting his feet up, is he, this week?
He is. Well deserved, I think. I think if I was the ECB, I'd be wrapping him up in cotton wool. He's so valuable.
BBC Radio Nottingham News has just started, Kyle. They'll just come for a quick update, so you can just hold fire for a second or two. We've got lovely blue skies overhead here. And Knots of 14 without loss. Here comes Ethan Bamber, formerly with Middlesex, of course. Wide of the pegs and through to wicket-keeper Alex Davis. We've had half an hour of cricket, 9 overs, bowled by Warwickshire. 5 from Ethan Bamber, none for 9. 4 from Nathan Gilchrist. 4 overs, none for 1 from this end. They've started pretty much like Notts did yesterday, asking a lot of questions. Brett Hutton, Mohammed Abbas, excellent. The start of yesterday morning.
Gonna have to give a few more shout-outs here, I think. Jack Haynes, you look like a malt. Take your sunnies off. And our former video analyst, Kuni, says he's enjoying my voice too. So glad to have you people watching, listening.
Next ball beats Slater on the outside. Yeah, get the word out there, Kyle. Build the numbers up. Big match, big week for Nottinghamshire. There is that update for local radio listeners. Yeah, it's not been easy for Nottinghamshire this morning. Of course, yesterday with the ball, they bowled Warwickshire out for 258. They know if they get to 300, they'll have enough bonus points to secure the Division 1 title. That may come later on in the day. In the meanwhile, the 2 openers still out there searching for runs. Notts 14 without loss. Latest ball's just gone through to the keeper. 14 without loss. We're in the 10th over. You all right, Kyle? You're all right?
I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Do you know, I actually realised, no, I was wrong. It wasn't in Australia that we first met. It was earlier here in England. And I went down to Canterbury.
Yes,
you
you're
played
right.
that Lions match as Gilchrist is in, bowls full
And there he
delivery. That is gloriously carved away on the offside by Slater. He's off the mark and in some style as well.
Seen a lot of that this season from Slats.
Will he know he's so close to 1,000 for the season? I'm sure he will. 963.
I'll tell you something very interesting about every single cricketer. If they tell you they don't know, they are lying.
Okay, right. I'm going to give you a little test. Let's see. First class, right. What is your first class average, Carl Verreynne, going into this match?
Unfortunately, 48.1.
I want it to two decimal places, please. As Gilchrist is in, and it's left alone by Slater.
48.17.
Oh,
Is
no.
that wrong?
No, it's wrong. 48.14 according to Cricket Info.
So it was about 55 last year. First time I interviewed you
It was.
a year ago. It's about 55.
Tell you,
wasn't it?
the county grind will humble you.
All right, what's your first class strike rate, batting strike rate?
I'm going to say 64 point something 31.
Batman.
Wrong.
Gilchrist bowls and he's beaten the outside edge of Slater again. So good comeback from that boundary.
It's got to be close.
It's close. It's 62.91.
It's gone down.
Does that matter really? Because the role you got at 6 in the order, you might be coming in at 20 for 4. You might be coming in at 420 for 4.
Let me tell you, I tell people so many times, batting at number 6 or 7, hardest place to bat in the world. You could get the new ball, second new ball. You could walk in at 20 for 4, 20 for 5, or you could come in when they're 400 for 4 and you just expected to do well.
Gilchrist bowls, and this is off the hip and flicked away square. That's another 4 runs. So Slater just finding the boundary a couple of times. One was a bit too full, and that one was a bit too leg-sidey. And takes knots to 22 for none. Slater has moved on to 8, dealing in boundaries. Hamid still on 10.
My good mate David Bedingham, he obviously bats a little bit higher up the order, and often has a go at me for hiding down the order, batting a bit low. He says I've got it really easy down there. But since he started batting 6 in Test cricket, I think he's sort of transitioned into my outlook on it, and I think he can now agree that 6 and 7 is by far the hardest place in the order to bat.
Do you want the first over from Ed Barnard as you're into the commentary swing? Just reflecting on the first game of the season, it was ironic that yourself and David Bedingham were in South Africa. You couldn't come back for the first game of the season, Notts Durham, and you didn't get a ball bowled, did you? Your match was abandoned.
Barnard into Hamid. Tell you what, he's thought hard about that, struck on the pad. Not out is given. It's a good start from Barnard.
He was a long way down, wasn't he?
Well, I'll be honest with you. You're probably looking at the screen. I'm trying to view it
No,
from
I'm
up here.
not,
I can't see anything.
It's not as easy as you think, is it?
No.
Here's a replay that you can see.
Might be outside the line, maybe a little bit high. Good start from Barnard.
Can you keep going with that narrative? This job isn't as easy as...
Barnard into Hamid. Pretty much the same ball, actually. Top of the stumps, and Hamid just pushes it into the leg side. You know something? Us as players give a lot of stick to umpires, and I've done an umpiring course, so I've got a certificate. I'm a qualified umpire. And I will say umpiring is a lot harder than I think we give credit for. When I'm out in the field, you often get upset with the calls that are made and all of that, but umpiring is definitely not an easy job. And I'll say this is up there with quite difficult. Barnard to Hamid. Bit shorter, but no run as he pushes it to middle.
Is that what you were saying last week when the umpire raised his finger and you were given out? That's okay, I'll walk off because umpiring is quite a hard job. You were nowhere near it, were you?
The less I say about my 2 dismissals last week,
2,
the better. Well, I mean,
there was a caught behind that you didn't hit. I will say that, even if you can't.
I did miss it by about.
And what was the other one?
2 centimetres. 2 meters outside my crease, sliding down the leg side. Barnard into Hamid. short wide and put away for 4 and not move to 26 for no loss. Nice little flurry of boundaries in the last couple of overs, and it looks like the two Notts batters are just getting into a nice flow now. No, umpiring is really difficult. I think sometimes when you're in the game and it's your wicket that's at stake, you get caught up in the emotion of it. But I think most players you speak to will tell you at the end of the day's play, it's really tough out there. There's a lot of pressure on, and
they call it as they see it.
Well, exactly. And I mean, if they make one mistake in a day, bar not into a meet again. Top of the stumps and another dot ball. If they make one mistake in the whole day, they've probably had a 90-95% success rate for the day's play, and there'll be a few players that are unhappy. So it's a real tough place to be. Like I said, it's similar to being a batter. Actually, you make one mistake and you're done for the day. Same as an umpire, you make one mistake and I think the sort of spotlight just goes on you. So it is a really, really tough job. As Barnard, it's into a meet again. It's a little bit outside the stumps. Half of an appeal as a meet pushes at it, but that's the end of the over. 26 for no loss.
Mark the Mod says in Playfair ahead of this season, it says you're averaging 248 for Notts, because of course you started last year with thousands of runs, well 248, and you're only out once, so that was a great average to take into this season. And Kevin Marriott, all this nonsense about commentary being hard, Kyle's making it sound so easy, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this, by the way.
No, I think I did mention it to you a couple of weeks ago in Worcester. Cricket is an interesting sport. You can only potentially play until you're 35, maybe 40 if you stay fit, and then you've got to find something else to do. And I've always thought that this is something that I'd be passionate about and really would want to do. I did think it would be really difficult, and to be honest, this is quite difficult, but so far I'm enjoying it. It's good.
I'm going to ask you another question about that. As Michael Booth has come in to the attack for the first time around the wicket, and just outside the off-stump defended, rolls back towards Booth, who picks it up and gives it a bit of a rub.
This is just mates watching a game of cricket, isn't it? I think that's what we try and get it to come across as.
It's the best for listeners or viewers. I think that's probably the best thing about it.
Yeah. So then you talk also about doing the umpiring course. Why did you decide to do that?
I've got no interest in umpiring. That was Booth is into Slater again. Off his hip through mid-wicket, and that looks like it's going to be 2. Sorry, to answer your question, I've got no interest in umpiring and standing out in the sun there all day. It was I'm trying to think what I had to do it for. There was something at school, so the certificate's probably expired by now, but it was when I was at school. Some of us had to do it as like a compulsory extramural thing, so I did it. Found it really interesting, but I don't see myself doing it long term.
Here's Booth around the wicket, and he's angled that one in and really squared Slater up. The ball's just ballooned out towards backward point. And there's a bit of excitement all round for a dot ball. Speaking of school, because you broke your hand really badly when you were about 16?
Yeah, that's right. Playing hockey.
Yeah.
I did.
Metal plates put in?
Yeah, so I got 4 metal plates in my right hand.
There's Booth. He's in. Bowls. And that's defended with a very straight bat on tippy toes by Slater. No run.
Yeah, so I mean, fortunately, it hasn't really had any impact on my cricket. I think if anything, it was a bit of not a wake-up call, but it sort of made me realise I was playing hockey and cricket at the time and sort of not really sure. In school, you're just trying to enjoy it and have fun. But I think that was probably a switch that, I do want to take cricket seriously, so maybe I need to focus on that now.
Booth bowls, and that is carved away, but there is a fielder down at backward point in the deep who will keep it to just 1. So can you feel it? Where are they?
I mean, potentially... I don't know if you can see.
They're getting touchy-feely in the commentary box here.
Don't think you can. Not really.
Ooh.
No, that's just bone.
That's just a bone. You've just got hard bones.
No, you can't really. To be honest, half the time don't even know it's there.
The old question: does it set off metal detectors?
No, it doesn't.
It can't be very good then. It's a Well, change in angle for Booth now, coming over the wicket to Haseeb Hameed, who just clips that around the corner down towards long leg, and they will get another single that finishes the over, and Notts now 30 for none. Hameed on 15, Slater on 11. A good partnership, opening partnership building between these two. And just a reminder that the target for Notts when we have this game within a game is to reach 300 runs within 110 overs, and that will seal the county championship Division 1 for them this year because of batting points, and they'll get enough points to ensure that Surrey can't overtake them at the top of the table.
Yeah, in that other match down at Southampton, Hampshire now 172 for 6, so 3 wickets this morning, and another bonus point for Surrey. Here is Ed Barnard from the building site end as Hameed drops it on the leg side. Gaz, as an aspiring umpire in Kent, I can vouch for Kyle's view that it is a very tough job. And Steve Crawley says, don't know if you've got any cakes in the commentary box at the moment, Dave, but please keep them away from Kyle, because later on in the day we might need him to be running some 2s and 3s. So no cakes for you, my lad.
Well, I mean, potentially, but I really hope that I don't have to bat at all today. It will mean we would have had a fantastic day.
Barnard in again to the Notts skipper. Haseeb Hameed pushes it gently into the offside. What's Haas like out there in the heat of battle? He seemed from outside the ring to remain very calm last week.
I think I've been incredibly impressed with Haas this season. I've obviously captained, I think, probably 3 or 4 years back home for my domestic side, and understand the pressures of it.
Barnard into his second over now, short, and he tries to pull it through mid-wicket, completely cloths it. He hits it with the bottom of the bat and it just runs out on the leg side, no run.
And I think, especially being in situations like this when there's a championship on the line, and you sort of, everything that happens out in the field, you feel like it's just magnified just that little bit extra because of what's at stake. The way he's managed to stay so calm, keep the rest of the players around him really calm, and at the same time make some incredibly good tactical calls has been good to watch.
He's on 15, faces Barnard now, this wide of the pegs, and goes through to the keeper. And of course he's delivered it as well. He's scored 1,200 runs. He's twice he's carried his bat through the innings, which is a phenomenal achievement. And he's certainly not letting captaincy affect the other side of his game.
That's the thing that often gets overlooked. I think you look at the runs that he scored, how important he's been to our team as a performer, but then you add captaincy to that, and it just makes what he's done so much more impressive.
Notts 30 without loss. Started on time at 10:30. This one wide of the pegs goes through to the keeper.
And I don't know, for the people listening or watching or whatever it is, I don't know if you'll understand how much goes into captaincy. I mean, like I say, I speak from my own experience, but also just watching Haas go about things over the course of the summer. It's every training day, you've got to make sure that what bowlers are fit, guys that you potentially want to play, are they getting their loads up, are guys preparing properly, who's going to be available for the next game.
Hameed on 15, defends this one.
Then understanding if what they're doing in the nets is what you're going to want them to do in the game, pulling them aside, having a chat. If someone's struggling, speaking to them, speaking to the coach about what he's thinking about the next game coming up, how he saw the previous game to have gone.
Then the media want their slice of the action.
Then the media want their slice of the action. Then you've got an overseas that's asking random questions about what's happening in West Bridgeford that he's got to take care of.
And a family life as well.
Well, exactly.
There's all the pools.
Then you've got all of these things going on. He's renovating his house, which he's got to see to daily. And that's all. We haven't spoken about any cricket there. And that just shows how hard the job is.
Here's Booth around the wicket to Slater, who just plays that late to full delivery that makes its way down towards deep third, 1 run.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think that's probably what makes our job so enjoyable, is that there's such an important role outside of the game that someone like Haas would play, and I think his season has been incredibly impressive with all of that in mind.
He's certainly been a huge figure for Notts this season, as Booth is in and Haseeb Hameed does just swish his bat out of the way of that one. Has that been called a no ball? I think I saw the umpire's hand go up, and
Does look like
yeah,
it.
he and Michael Booth have both just had a little look at the crease, and umpire's just scratching away at it at the moment. So looks like a front foot no ball.
Another thing that makes umpiring so difficult, looking when you don't have the technology, looking out for those things, trying to watch the batter as well.
Yes, Booth runs in and bowls. That's just played very late and very nicely by Hamid. He's just got it wide of the slips cordon, but there's a fielder running around in the deep, so just get 2 runs there. Takes him to 17, Notts to 35 for none. Especially, I do feel sorry for the umpires now that so many games are live streamed, and yet you don't have the support of you know, the DRS or anything like that. It does make it really difficult. We've lost Dave Bracegirdle for a moment, but
It's gone to get cake.
we can manage. Here is Booth. Oh, that one has chipped straight back, and Booth didn't know whether to go at it with his hand or his foot. And in the end, he did stick his left boot out, and it just goes up to mid-off. No run.
It's been a really impressive, I must say, from seeing it from this point of view, it's been an impressive start from both teams this morning. I think, as I've mentioned probably a lot this morning, it's a very interesting wicket, and I think both teams are still well within it, grinding hard.
Booth, he's in once more, bowls to Hamid, and he does push at this one outside the off stump, and goes for a little walk to compose himself. There's maybe just a little movement there. But I would have thought that yesterday. It was just really high quality cricket because it was very good bowling. And the batters did well in that morning session. I thought Warwickshire did well to just lose 1 wicket, to be honest.
Very impressive morning session. I think even that session after lunch was incredibly impressive from both sides.
Here's Booth, bowls. This time it's more comfortably left by Hamid.
I've got to give a lot of credit to the Warwickshire batters also. I think something that has been really impressive from Notts this season is just how relentless we've been. When we haven't been taking wickets, we've not been conceding a lot of runs and sort of just asking questions of the batter for long periods of time, and more often than not got our reward. But it felt like yesterday was probably one of the first times this season where it's just been a real grind for things out there.
Booth bowls, left alone outside the off stump once more to finish off the over. Nottinghamshire 35 without loss. Hamid on 17, Slater on 12. And we've got Dave Bracegirdle back. He's like a ninja, isn't he? You don't see him just sneaking up. Or
well, I thought he went to go get cake, but I don't see anything.
He'll find some. He's a big one for bringing he brings his own cake sometimes, and he brings what we would call in Australia lollies. Do you call them sweets or lollies?
What's that, like a fizzer?
Like this sort of sugary rubbish.
Sugary rubbish. Help yourself to sugary rubbish.
Sweeties.
You call them sweeties.
Sweets.
35 without loss.
I'm on a diet. I've got camp when I get back with the Proteas, so I need to make sure that I don't eat any cake or lollies. Just make sure I stay in shape, or get into shape rather.
There's Barnard. It's bowling round the wicket now to Ben Slater. Drops this on the leg side. There's no run. How do you like Nottingham? I don't know where you live in, but presumably you've got access to the city centre, and in your days off you've got out and about and seen the sights.
It's beautiful. You could probably see where I stay from here. Actually, it's one of those houses just over there.
I didn't think you were too far away.
Just down the road, so it's beautiful. Get to walk into the ground every morning. There's some lovely coffee shops here in West Bridgeford. Seems like nice people.
Barnard round the wicket. Balls again. Lets it go through to the keeper. Now, how do you spend your days off? Are you a golfer or what do you get up to?
I try and play golf. I'm not too good at it, but we've got a bit of a paddle group going on at the moment. So,
I told you, paddle is the new golf for cricketers.
It really is.
Yes.
It's an hour, maybe 2 hours of your day. Get a few mates around and you do that. So we've got a paddle group in the team going at the moment. So a few of us play paddle. That's probably all I do on days off now.
Slater's on 12. Again, lets it go through to Alex Davis.
I am. I don't know if there's certain people listening to this that might laugh at what I'm about to say, but I'm studying, so I'm trying to get a degree. So I've tried to use my time in the UK when I've got a few days off to get some assignments and things done on that front. So between paddle and university work, I think that's probably...
What's the subject?
Doing a BCom in business management.
Okay.
Wow.
Sensible young man, planning for the future. Slater on 12, pushes this into the offside. Been playing 55 minutes, knots 35 without loss in the 15th over. Mead has 17.
Do you think people, perhaps fans, I see sometimes fans have a go at cricketers when they want to, if they're playing golf or there's been stuff about perhaps wanting to make sure they have enough time away from cricket. Do you think people maybe underestimate not just the physical fatigue, but mental fatigue and the need to refresh by doing something else?
Next ball from Barnard, again wide enough to be left alone.
I think it's an important question, and I think quite an interesting topic. When you're young and you come into the game, I think mental health and sort of mental fatigue is something that you don't really take into account. But as I've sort of played a little bit longer now, cricket is a game as much as it's tough on the body and tough physically. I think the mental side of it is probably the hardest.
Ed Barnard past umpire Saggers. Again, wide enough to be left alone.
Sorry to cut you off.
You're
I think
all right.
The mental fatigue that a sports person, not just cricket, goes through is a lot more than I think people will realise. And I think sometimes it's not really the going to play golf and not training. It's the going to play golf to refresh the mind. Or it's I know the England team have come under a bit of stick for it, going and playing rounds of golf where potentially they should have been training. Sometimes that taking yourself away from the game and just allowing your mind to refresh and sort of clear your head, the advantages that has when you are then out in the middle and you've got a fresh mind and are able to think clearly is massive. I think especially, as Booth bowls to Mead, and it's a dot ball there.
Thanks for picking up there, Cal.
I'm sorry, I'm so enthralled with what you're saying, I forgot to call that ball. But you came in and rescued me, so well done.
No, I think it's well, I've lost my train of thought now, but especially with the amount of cricket that's being played now, fans want to see more cricket, which is fantastic, and we love playing it, but it's going to take a toll somewhere, and I think the mental side is where it takes its toll first.
As Booth bowls, and that's a good delivery, full right up in there, and Hamid plays and misses.
I think a big part of cricket nowadays, a lot of the S&Cs and physios, there's a big focus on firstly keeping guys on the park from a physical point of view, but I think something or an area where the game's really grown is probably the same amount of emphasis is now being put on making sure mentally you're fresh. Myself personally, for the month of August, I was going to stay in the UK and sort of be around the team and whatnot.
As Booth runs in, bowls, and Hamid presses forward into defence, and the ball goes straight through to the keeper.
Yeah, so I was going to stay in Notts for the month of August and just wasn't going to play, but just be around here and sort of spend my time here in the UK sun. But after the sort of summer that I had with the tension of the World Test Championship and how busy I've been, just decided that just going home for a month and refreshing mentally was going to be the best thing.
As Booth bowls, that's right in the block hole, and a strangled shout. It sounded like there was some bat on there, but the ball's speared into the toes, and it's discomforted Hamid a little bit.
Yeah, so I ended up leaving my kit here in Notts, didn't take my kit back with me, so all my playing kit and bats, whatever, stayed in Notts, and I went back for a month and did absolutely nothing with cricket, saw mates, played golf, played paddle, spent time with family, came back here, and it's probably the best I felt from a technical point of view and how I'm keeping.
Booth bowls outside the off stump, good bounce left alone in the end, or played and missed out, I should say, by Hamid. Yeah,
it just shows the importance of being mentally fresh. It's something that I think doesn't get spoken about enough, and I think potentially from an awareness point of view to the public that watches, I think sometimes as players we feel like we're a little bit harshly judged on potentially taking time off and not training every day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, does make a huge amount of sense as Booth bowls full delivery, and Booth tries to stick his boot out as it's driven down the ground by Hamid. Can't get to it. Lovely shot from the Nottinghamshire captain, and it rounds off the over with a rather glorious boundary. They were stuck there for a little while, but Nottinghamshire now move on to 39 for none, Hamid on 21 and Slater on 12.
About an hour's cricket. I'll through the course of the next over, if I may, give you all the scores elsewhere. But just looking at the bottom of all the scores elsewhere, I notice Cricket South Africa 4-day domestic season, Division 1. They've started. I hadn't realised that they've started. So is this sort of a trade-off? You couldn't play here at the start of the English summer, but you can stay here till the end.
It's exactly what it is.
Because you're Western Province, aren't you?
I am indeed. I think we've got off to a nice start there, if I'm not mistaken.
Warriors 82 for 3 as here wide of the pegs comes Ed Barnard. They've got a proper keeper, haven't they? Bjorn Hendricks has got the gloves this week.
Bjorn Hendricks? That can't be right.
Sorry. There's a C after him. Daniel Smith.
Daniel Smith has got the gloves.
Smith, yeah, Bjorn Hendricks, captain.
Young Daniel Smith played in well, he was the rookie.
Sunrisers, yes, he was.
Rookie for Sunrisers.
One of my very, very close friends is old Smithers.
Is that the first round of matches? Round the wicket comes Barnard, and Slater will get a single pushed into the offside. 40 without loss.
Yeah, first round. So basically, I mean, I missed, Bettingham and I missed the first round last year because we were fighting relegation back home. So the trade-off was sort of, if we miss the first game here to play for Western Province back home, then they'll allow us to stay the full season, which for both of us I think has ended up being quite important. Durham obviously fighting relegation, and we in a good position here.
Barnard now to Hamid, pushes it into the offside. So elsewhere then in Division 1 of the County Championship at Chelmsford, Somerset the visitors 390 for 7 against Essex. Down at Southampton, Hampshire now 193 for 6 against Surrey, leading by 46. That match that Carl was just referring to, Durham all out for 3-4-6. His big mate Bedingham got 93, was it, yesterday? Yorkshire just starting 1 without loss. New Road, not a wicket spell. In Division 2, Lancashire 104 for 2, replying to Glamorgan's 265 at Cardiff. Derbyshire have got Lewis Rees and Wayne Madsen. They've added 300 together so far. Derbyshire 475 for 2 at Canterbury. Middlesex 446 for 7 against Gloucestershire. Northants 3 without loss, replying to Leicestershire's 429. I'll just do this delivery and then